Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. All right, so you can already tell by the title of the video, we're gonna talk about retaining your length, the most commonly called grow your hair. So basically our hair is always growing, right? But in order for you to actually have some length and start to see it, you're gonna have to take care of the oldest part of your hair, and that is the ends. Okay, so you have to take very good care of your ends in order for them to live long. So you have to pay a little bit extra care to that area. Now some of us are doing this regularly, sometimes I neglect it, but here's some tips to keep you on track, or at least a reminder for you to do it right now. All right, so the first tip is clipping your ends. I know, I get it, and I used to feel the same exact way. Why are we cutting our hair if we're trying to retain the length and see length? Well, you're not really cutting your hair. You're cutting the damaged, old, no longer any good to your hair ends. That old part of your hair that could probably and potentially cause breakage to your strands. So dead ends just become split ends, and they split up to where the hair strand itself just plops right off, broken hair. So you don't want that. So you want to get rid of any damaged ends that are not feeding your hair. So that's number one. Trim your end. Don't be scared to, don't be afraid to, be happy to. You're gonna love it after. I had a lot of my hair cut off a few months back, and actually I could not be happier because of it. So clip your ends, trim your ends, do whatever you need to do to get rid of those dead ends. Okay, so number two, this one's kind of a big deal. Not kind of, no, it really is a big deal, and it's important to make sure that you're doing this to your ends, and that is sealing your ends. Now I am not good with this. I moisturize my hair daily with a light leave-in conditioner. However, I am really bad when it comes to sealing my ends. And another thing, I recently looked into sealing my ends because I'm doing like this whole mental and physical and like Lisa rejuvenation, like trying to be my best self, and I'm working really hard to do that. So recently I was looking into different ways that people seal their hair, because all I was really doing was just adding oil to my ends, and I don't feel like that was really doing the best thing for my hair. So I was doing some research and I found Urban Bush Babes. Now I know like they're natural and they do natural things with their hair. I don't care, hair is hair. So one of the things that I found on their site was basically a lot of people seal their ends when they wash. So when their hair is like wet. I don't do that. And not that I'm gonna start. What I've decided to do was to seal my ends at least 3 times a week, right? So I moisturize daily, but I want to seal 3 times a week, mainly because I don't like a lot of buildup, and I'm gonna be using 2 different products on my ends alone. So I'm gonna do it 3 times a week. The way that I have started to do it was I would get my hands wet, take a portion of my hair, the whole like section, right? Because my hair is not all the same exact length, see? So I take the whole section with my wet hands. I'm not taking a cup of water. I'm not dipping my head in water. I have wet hands. I take it like this and I wet it. So now my hair has some dampness to it. It's not dripping wet, but there is some dampness to it. So now it's gonna be a little bit more receptive to my moisturizer. So then I'll take my leave-in conditioner and I'll put that on my hair in the same way. Just a little bit, not a lot. This is basically just to coat the ends, right? So you're not even really trying to get your whole strand. You're just wanting the sections of your hair that is the end. So I'm going like this, but for you, it may just be like this. You may just go like that on your ends. So this is the second thing you're doing. This will be the leave-in conditioner. After that, I'll take my coconut oil, and that's what I'll be sealing. Now you can use a thicker oil to seal your ends, but like I said, I'm not big on buildup, so I'm not gonna do that unless my ends feel particularly dry, and in that case I may use olive oil. But for now, what I'm gonna continue to use is the coconut oil and just seal it with that. Do this 1 time and you're going to feel the difference in your hair. I just did that to my hair and it felt so good. And I was like, I feel like I'm stupid because I haven't been doing this. I need to be sealing my hair as often as possible, and for me right now, I'm gonna try out the 3 days a week, and hey, I may even increase that to daily, but for now, just 3 days a week, so that I can see if the buildup is, you know, something that I can deal with. So that's number 2, seal your ends. So you wanna keep the moisture in the strand. All right, number 3, protect your ends. Now this seems like a simple thing, right? But a lot of times we are leaving our hair out in ponytails. A lot of times we're wearing our hair down. Do as much protective styling, low tension protective styling as you can, and keep those ends tucked away. So I think what I'm probably going to do is a video on different things you could do with your hair to keep your ends tucked away. I could have very well just did like a little chignon or something back here. But yeah, you want to do as much as you can to keep your hair away from rubbing against your top, and of course the weather that you live in. I live in a very, very dry place, and that does not help my hair. There is hardly any humidity here at all. So there's no moisture in the air. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your hair in that way. So that's pretty much it when it comes to retaining your length. If you're doing everything else for your roots and your strands, don't neglect your ends. You want to trim them when you're supposed to, and I don't like to say a time for everyone. I know that I want to do it about every 3 to 4 months and just 1/4 of an inch. And then you also want to seal your ends. You need to seal your ends so that you can lock in the moisture and keep that hair healthy and thriving. And lastly, you need to make sure that you're protecting your ends. So as often as possible, choose styles that keep your ends tucked away and away from friction on your clothes and exposure to the sun and the dry weather. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope it helps you in some way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.